Hey guys, how you doing? So I'm actually doing a quick demo for one of my friends who wants to start recording his games in PUBG. He was going to use Fraps, which is paid software, but the problem is Fraps creates these huge files and it tends to slow down the PUBG game a little bit. When I say slow down, I mean you may drop 5 to 10 frames per second. I've switched over to OBS. The latest version is 20.0.1, and I'm using this and I find no impact at all whether I've got it running or not in regards to frames per second on PUBG. So here, what we've got here is we're looking at my screen. You can't hear me, you can't see anything. All you can see is the screen, me sitting in a chair, hi. And my logo down is back to front down here. My logo down here, which is an image, and then the rest of the screen is basically my my background. You can see my cursor, and if I wanted to show you something, oh look here, I've got a little picture. This is all the loot spawns on the map, and you know where cars spawn, where there's always going to be a car in the garage, the best places to drop, etc. Blah blah blah. Now, so what we're going to do to set things up, when you first log in here, it's all going to be empty. You're not going to have any scenes, you're not going to have any sources. You're going to have to go here, right mouse click on scenes. Actually, it's going to help if I show you what I'm doing. Here we go, so you can see now. So you're not going to have any scenes and you're not going to have any sources. You're just going to have blank empty boxes here. And also, your view is going to be a little bit different. Let me just go into here and show you what your view is going to look like. Your view is going to look like this. It's going to be very bright, very white, etc. So if you want to go into settings and change that, you just go into general, the language, leave in English, or whatever language you want to put it in. I like the dark setting. I think this one's a bit too bright for me, so I like the dark. It's a little bit mellow. The rest of it at this time, don't worry about too much, okay? So you're going to right mouse click in scenes, you're going to add a scene, and we're going to call this test scene, yeah? That's what we're going to do. Now, then everything's going to go black because you've got no sources here. So what you're going to want to do first of all is you're going to want to tell OBS what you want to be watching. So I'm going to say the first thing I want to watch is a display capture. Now, you can create a new one called left or right hand screen, etc. Or if you've got two monitors, left monitor, right monitor, whatever you want to do, main screen, whatever you want to do. Call it whatever you want, it's fine. I'm actually going to put in here, I'm an existing one. I'm going to add my existing one. But all you're going to do, and I'll show you what happens, is you will get this, yeah? When you say select new and you get this, you'll get this screen. Now here, it's going to say what display do you want this to be looking at. If I change the display to display 1, it swaps it over to my other screen. If I say display 0, it swaps it back to this screen. Yeah. If you don't want to see your mouse pointer for some reason, you just take that off and you can no longer see it. Yeah. Put it back on, you can see it again. So that's okay. So that's your screen capture now. So now you should have something very similar to what you're looking at here. Unless you're looking at the blank screen with left hand screen. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add a microphone, I'm guessing. So you want to add audio input capture. Yeah. Now again, I've got my existing one, so I'm just going to add that. But then you create a new one, you put it in there, and you will get here. At the moment, I'm using my Blue Yeti microphone to record, but I can also use the microphone on my web camera, and I can also use the microphone on my Corsair Void wireless headset. So I'm going to stick with the Blue Yeti microphone. We say OK to that. Now you should be able to speak, and you will see, if your mic's turned on, you will see here, mic auxiliary, the line will be going up in time to your voice. The quieter it is, the smaller the line. The louder your voice, the bigger the line. Simple as that. So now we have voice and screen capture. Now, how about if someone wants to see you, or you want them to see you? So next thing we're going to do is we are going to add a video capture device. Now again, call it your webcam, whatever you want. I've already got one. Bang, there I am. Whoa, I'm a bit big. In life I'm a bit big, but hey. So you can then grab this screen. Actually, let's just go in there and show you what you're going to look at. So in here, device, the only device I have that can capture screen is the Pro webcam. The rest of the stuff, the resolution, if you change the resolution, it may get a bit dodgy for you. Depending on what webcam you've got, I find that 960 for PUBG is better. You can change it to whatever you want, but I would personally change it by going into your own webcam settings. Like this is a Logitech, so I would go into the Logitech software, change everything I need there. Because if you have it 1080p, you can't zoom in as much, and that means you need a bigger green screen behind, because all this behind is a green screen. Yeah. You have to excuse my my voice and my breathing. I'm a bit sick at the moment. So the audio device is on there saying like, don't use the internal microphone of the cam. Use the Blue Yeti microphone. Yeah. And you're gonna the audio mode output, you're gonna capture audio only, blah blah blah, etc. You don't need to worry about this. 30 frames per second is more than enough, because unless you're moving crazy, you can still capture it. It's fine. So that's that. That's the webcam. Now we're gonna get a box. Yeah. If you wanted to put yourself as main, well, let's just show you what the default will be. You'll be in a little box down here somewhere. Yeah. Now, if you wanted to move slightly off the screen, you can do. It's not a problem. It doesn't have to be on the screen. So your box is there. So now wherever I'm doing it, you can see me talking to you. You can hear me through the mic, and you can see what I'm looking at on my screen. If for some reason you wanted this little screen down here, and you wanted me to be the bigger picture, move that over a little bit there. But you wanted this screen to be shown in the corner of this here, all you do is you go down the bottom here. You can't see this at the moment, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to show you what happened. Now you can see what I'm looking at the bottom. So you go to here, and I'll make this bigger so you can see it. You drag your left screen, it would have been down here. You drag it up like this. Now if you want the webcam in front, you put that in front. You want the left screen in front, you drag the left screen up front. The micro and the auxiliary doesn't really matter. The screen input is what you want to be looking at. So I'm going to change this back to the full screen, like so. I am then going to put the web camera above the screen, and I'm going to move my web camera down there to the little box, like so. So now we have webcam, left screen, mic. Okay, what else do we need? What's the green screen? How am I seeing nothing behind me? I'll show you. So in webcam, we right mouse click and we go to filters. Now in here you see chroma key. I turn that off, green screen behind me. Now all that is, I've just bought a green screen and I've just put it up on the wall with a little bit of frog tape, which is very good masking tape that doesn't peel paint off. Easily removed, but it's really good, holds really well. So I'll put the chroma key back on. Yeah, so now you can see, I'm going to put it here like this. You can see how you set it up. With the chroma key, it's usually going to be set default or green. However, you can change this to whatever you want. You can change it to a blue background, whatever you want. But if you notice, I've got some green and yellow on my top here. And you can see that yellow is invisible. As too is the Incredible Hulk, this side. He is invisible as well, because he's green. So you're going to be seeing through that. So whatever image is behind me, if you're wearing yellow or green, you're going to be seeing through those colours. It's very hard to adjust. Also, you'll notice there's a little bit of flickering up here. You don't have to worry about that too much. That's adjustable by these settings. The first setting you want to do is here. So we'll go to similarity 0, back low again. You can see the green screen behind me. Move this up a little bit as well, so it fades, that's fine. Okay, so I am going to push this up until everything kind of blends a little bit, yeah? So it's no longer green behind. You can see part of me is starting to fade as well. The smoothness I'm going to bring down until we're in a situation we go too low, it disappears again. You go back up and it's starting to look a bit better. Play around with these settings is all I can say. I mean, I know, for instance, that my best setting for the light and the color of the green screen I have behind me is 501 and 1. If I've got natural light coming through the window. If you are going to be streaming in the evening, your light in your room where you're streaming is going to be different. You'll have to tweak that. So it may well be worth setting up a session chroma key for daytime and setting up a chroma key for evening. So natural light versus artificial light. And you can just create another one of these exactly the same and rename it how you want. I'm quite lucky because the bulb I put in this room is quite bright, so I don't have to muck around with this too much. Anyway, so that's your green screen. You can now see behind you. Anything that's green is taken out, and it works quite well. If you want to add an image behind you to make it look like, rather than sitting in this very small room, now I'm going to show you this, rather than sitting in this very small room with the green behind me, you're going to add an image. Now I've got quite a few different images here. One of them is an interior, so I'm going to use the existing interior. All this is a JPEG file of someone's posh house interior, right? It's that there. Looks quite nice, right? Now, what do I do? How do I get this behind my webcam? Let's make sure the interior is below my webcam. Then I can bring it down here, resize it so that it looks like I'm actually in there. We're going to have to shuffle this to the left a bit to actually make it look like my webcam capture. And the best way to do is you put your head up, you see the head getting cut off. So bring it down to that point there. Yep. Bring it across. We're good. So now it looks like I'm actually sitting in a room, and the stuff behind me is the my TV there. I don't use that one much. I've got a couple of speakers either side of it. The wife's left some red stuff on the table there. Don't worry about it. It's all good. That kind of thing you can do with it. Yeah, it's very easy, very effective. You still see a little bit of patchy here, but you can fine tune that with the buttons. It's got a bit cloudy over here outside, so the lightness level has gone down a bit, which is causing this interruption. Now let's just say you want to create yourself a logo. You want to have on your screen a logo, or maybe let's start one step back. Let's say we now want a border behind around this this frame here. There's a very simple one you can do. You add an image again. You have to design the border to the shape you want. You can stretch it, but this is something you can design yourself. I did a very, very simple one, webcam border I called it. Now when you go in here, I forgot to show you this before, it's just browse. Which file do you want to upload? Yeah. Make sure the interior of this file here, make sure the interior of this file is hollow. It's removed the inside. Otherwise you will never be able to get the camera on top unless you make it a solid object and you put it behind the webcam, but make this picture slightly bigger so that the backing you'll see around the outsides of the webcam. So let's put this in place. Where are we going to put this? It's up here at the moment. Okay, so let's say we want to stretch it. We don't want to stretch it that much, but let's just say we want to put it round here. Yeah. Now this is a weird shape. Why are you not stretching? It's misbehaving. Am I pushing the wrong thing? You know what it is. I haven't got it selected. Right. So I know that's going to be roughly about right. Okay. At any time you want, if you find that when you're dragging something it jumps, just use your mouse up and down, your cursors up and down, yeah? Now you can see we've got a nice little orange border around that, yeah? So that's something you can do as well. You can put it thicker, you can do whatever you want with it. And then we'll move on to the logo. Let's say you want your gaming tag to be appeared as well. So let's add another image. We're going to add this image here. I've already got some images set up. I'm going to call it my logo. So I designed this logo. Where do I want it? Do I want it over my face? Probably. Do I want it down here? Is there anything on the screen I want to hide? Now I know in PUBG you have your version number and your in-game name down here. So I'll make this a bit smaller and I'll put it right in the middle. You need to make sure that the logo is on top of the screen. So you know the screen is going to be the last thing you're recording, or the mic, but that's not important. A nice little backing to make that pop out a little bit is another image. That's all it is. This image I've called header. It's okay, and all it is a little kind of semi-transparent black piece of artwork. I'll put that there, and then I'll make sure the logo is above the header. Pop, bang, it's on there now. So that's how you're going to basically configure your OBS, and all it is, we'll go into, you don't have to touch anything else here. We go into settings, we say, okay, where do you want the output to go? Are you streaming? If you're streaming, you have to get the code from YouTube or Twitch, whatever. If you're recording, very simple, you just say, this is where I want all my files to go. You don't really need to do anything else. Audio is going to be in the same file anyway, so don't worry about that. All the rest of this, you can say what it is, but you know, you don't have to worry too much about this. Most of the stuff is pretty good. The only thing I would suggest is to change. Where is it? Let me see if I can find it now. Change this here. The rate control and the encoder. The encoder, if you get a problem where you press stop recording and it says stopping recording and it never goes away and you have to reboot and shut down via Task Manager and all that, it's the encoder. The encoder is conflicting with something you've got on your PC. Just change the encoder. This one's a pretty good one. NVENC H.264. That's a good one. That's fine. Put the output to 1920. You shouldn't need to rescale it anyway. It should already be as default as that. And you're good to go. Now when we move this over to the other screen, you'll stop seeing it. But what you will do now, because on my left screen is where I play PUBG, when I start this up, you'll see that the screen disappears. Everything else stays here. And we are good to start streaming or recording. Here we go. Now, the desktop audio you see, let me just bring this back over here very quickly again. The desktop audio you see here, you can set that up from here. Just go to properties. Where is it recording the stuff? So I've got speakers inside the monitors, I've got the headset, you know, I can do it anywhere I want, but I usually have my headphone on, so that's the one we're going to be using for this. And then I will grab my headphones. You can see here, this is see-through. See, this is see-through, and the reason it's see-through is because this is the Corsair logo, which I get flashing green. It pulses green. So anything green, you're going to be able to see behind, and you'll see the image behind this because it's blanking it out. So the headphones go on. I'm still talking through this mic up here, which you can't see at the moment, but I will show you that later on. That's the Blue Yeti up there, and this mic I'll be using for comms to speak to my friends in the game. So that's pretty much it. Excuse my bunged upness and my cold and phone's beeping in the background. That's pretty much how you set it up. And then as soon as you want to go, you press the button stop streaming, start recording. That'll record. When you're finished, you press stop. You can set shortcuts up for these if you don't want to keep clicking on it. You can set it up as control 1, control 2, whatever you want. Yeah, something you remember, something easier. The microphone volume is adjusted down here. You'll notice that you can go all the way up to 0 decibels. You can go further than that. You go to settings, you go to advanced audio properties, and you change the microphone here, yeah, to a bigger number than 100, and you'll find that it's a lot louder. So you want to play the game, you want to use your microphone, you want to find the balance, you want to know, you want to be able to see the volume that you're doing when, in this game for instance, when planes are flying over, when there's a thunder and lightning going on, you want to make sure that you can still be heard over all of this and it's nice and clear. And you do that by adjusting the audio from the desktop and the audio from your mic itself. I think that's all I can give you at the moment. If there's any other questions, I'll try and help you. I'm no expert by any means. I've literally only installed this a couple of weeks ago. So, as I say, I'll try and help as much as I can. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a like. And I'll try and respond to you as soon as I can. Alright, take care. Thanks very much. See you around.